Hi, welcome to Storytime. I'm Miss Teresa, and I'm so glad you joined me today because we have 3 very silly stories. And they're stories that I know I can remember being sort of like our characters, and I bet you're a little bit like our characters in the stories too, because our characters either don't like to eat their vegetables or they like to eat something a little too much. And in our first story, called Burger Boy, this little boy, our main character here, he likes to eat hamburgers. He might like to eat hamburgers just a little too much though. So let's find out what happens. Burger Boy by Alan Durant. Benny didn't like vegetables. He didn't like carrots. He didn't like peas. He didn't like broccoli or Brussels sprouts, lettuce, tomato, or cauliflower. Benny liked burgers. Benny loved burgers. Burgers were the only things Benny would eat. "If you don't watch out, you'll turn into a burger one day," warned his mom. There he is, looking at Benny eating all those hamburgers. And one day, Benny did. He and his mother had just finished lunch at his favorite restaurant, Veggie Burgers, when a dog ran up and started to sniff him. "Mmm," said the dog, "tasty." He wagged his tail, he opened his mouth. "Run, Benny, run!" cried Benny's mom. Look at Benny, he's one big burger. Benny raced away down the street with the dog close behind. "I'm not a burger, I'm a boy," shouted Benny. "Leave me alone." But the dog kept on chasing him, and soon there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dogs, all barking and howling and hounding poor Benny. Benny ran into a field that was full of cows. "Phew," he said, "I'll be safe here." But the cows swished their tails and crowded around him. "Don't you know what burgers are made of?" they mooed angrily. "But I'm not a burger, I'm a boy," shouted Benny. "Leave me alone." Benny took off again, through the field, across a stream, and down the road, with the pack of dogs and the herd of cows chasing after him. Benny saw a group of boys playing ball. "Help! I'm in trouble! Save me!" he gasped. The boys stopped playing. They couldn't believe their eyes. Their tummies rumbled. They licked their lips. "It's burger time!" they cried. "I'm not a burger, I'm a boy," shouted Benny. "Leave me alone." Poor Benny. Off he ran again, uphill and down, with the pack of dogs, the herd of cows, and the hungry boys chasing after him. Oh no! A busy road blocked Benny's way. He couldn't go forward. He couldn't go back. He was trapped. Just then, a van screeched to a stop in front of him. "Need a ride? Quick, hop in," called the driver. It was the owner of Veggie Burgers. "Phew, at last I'm safe," thought Benny, as the van drove away. But the owner took Benny into Veggie Burgers and put him on display. "Come one, come all, only $1 to see the giant burger," he cried. "I'm not a burger, I'm a boy," away, shouted Benny. Leave me alone. A talking burger? Even better, said the owner. I'll charge twice the price. Things were looking bad for Benny. He was wondering if he'd ever see his home again when suddenly his mom ran in. That's no burger, that's my son, she shouted. Let him go. She took Benny home. She fed him fruits and vegetables. Slowly his burger body turned boyish at the edges, and finally he was back to his old shape again. Hooray! I'm cured, cried Benny. I'll never eat another burger. Let's see if Benny can stay away from those burgers. And he didn't. He ate carrots and peas, broccoli and Brussels sprouts, lettuce, tomato and cauliflower. Now, Benny liked vegetables. He loved vegetables. Vegetables were the only things he'd eat. His mother was worried. Benny, she said, you'd better watch out. If all you eat is vegetables, one day you'll turn into one. Uh-oh, what did Benny turn into? You got it, he's a carrot. And look at that little bunny who's going, uh-oh, he sees that carrot. And I think we are going to have a chase again. I think Benny's going to be running through the streets trying to get away from that bunny. But for now, that is the end of our story. What a great story. Benny learned to eat other things besides hamburgers. He just has to figure out how to eat enough vegetables and enough burgers. Now we have another story about a little boy who doesn't want to eat his vegetables. It's called Night of the Veggie Monster. Let's see what happens in this story. Night of the Veggie Monster by George McClements. Something terrible happens every Tuesday night. It's not the pork chops or the mashed potatoes. It all starts when I'm forced to eat. Oh, here's Dad, and he goes, time for another fun-filled hour. Let's see what our little friend has to eat. Peas. Oh, he has to eat a whole 3 tonight. That's not too bad. Just 3 peas? Let's see what happens. My parents act as if I'm making it all up, but I'm not. Here's Dad. Dad says, I wonder how soon before he starts. Mom answers, oh, it should be any minute now. They have no idea what one tiny pea does to me. Here he is. There's his pork chop and his mashed potatoes and 1, 2, 3 peas. With just the slightest touch, it begins. Here we go, and here's Mom and Dad going, we're off. Let's see what happens. My fingers become all wiggly. And look at those fingers wiggle. And there goes the glass of milk. And here's Dad going, ah, I knew he would start with the fingers. As the pea rests in my mouth, my eyes begin to water. Look at his eyes, they're filling up. My toes twist and curl up in my shoes. That's a new one, says Mom. I squirm in my seat. I try to keep control, but the pea is too strong. I start to transform into, look at our poor little friend, a veggie monster. ready to smash the chairs, ready to tip the table, ready to grate pork chops tonight, says Dad. Look there goes the bread, there goes the milk glass. I think there's a knife going. I see some mashed potatoes and, gulp. I swallowed the pea. I actually swallowed the pea. It tasted all right, really. Well, I guess peas are okay. Here's Dad and he goes, quite a performance this evening. And Mom goes, I particularly enjoyed the toe curling. But, says our little friend, there's still a danger. Because tomorrow is Wednesday. And on Wednesdays we have broccoli. Uh-oh. There he is again. It looks like he has 4 pieces of broccoli on his plate. But I bet if our little friend just tries them, he might like them just like with the peas. But for now, that's the end. We'll have to wait for another story to see how he makes out with that broccoli. Why don't we finish story hour today talking about one of Miss Teresa's favorite vegetables, carrots. Although I'm not sure I'd want anything to do with the carrots in this story. They look like they're a little upset with our bunny. So let's see what happens in Creepy Carrots. Creepy Carrots by Aaron Reynolds. Jasper Rabbit had a passion for carrots, and the carrots that grew in Krakenhopper Field were the best. Fat, crisp, and free for the taking. There's Jasper sitting in the field just eating carrots away. He pulled some for a morning snack on the way to school. He yanked a few out on his way to Little League practice. He ripped them from the ground on his way home at night. Jasper couldn't get enough carrots until they started following him. Uh-oh. Look at those 3 carrots. I think they're going to be the ones that follow Jasper. He first noticed something strange after the big game against the East Valley Hares. Jasper was about to help himself to a victory snack when he heard it. The soft, sinister to-thunk, to-thunk, to-thunk of carrots creeping. He turned, but there was nothing there. Just my imagination, he thought, but he hopped a little bit faster. That night, as he was brushing his teeth, there they were. Jasper whipped around, but nothing. He laughed at himself, picked his toothbrush off the floor, and went to bed quickly. And we see those carrots, but it's actually a washcloth and some shampoo and a rubber ducky. The next morning, he approached Krakenhopper Field slowly. He reached for 2 wild carrots. Nothing happened. He bit into one. Nothing happened. Phew! Creepy carrots. It was ridiculous. But when he arrived home in the evening, "Mom! Mom!" Jasper screamed. "Creepy carrots in the shed!" His mom opened the door slowly. There weren't any carrots, not even the regular kind. What do we see? We see clippers and a saw and some orange paint. "There are no such things as creepy carrots," said Mom, shaking her head. Later that night, As Jasper lay in bed, he heard it. Breathing. Terrible, carroty breathing. And there on his wall, creepy carrots! He shouted, "Dad! Dad!" His dad thumped into his bedroom and threw on the lights. But what was it? Just a little toy bunny in an orange bucket. They searched under the bed. No creepy carrots. They looked through the closet. No creepy carrots. They opened the dresser drawers. No creepy carrots. "It's just a bad dream, son," said his dad, shaking his head. "Now go to sleep." But that wasn't going to happen. There's Jasper. He looks very worried. By the end of the week, Jasper was seeing creepy carrots everywhere. He thinks he's seeing carrots, but he's seeing curtains, and it looks like maybe a little bit of litter on the street, and just some flowers. Jasper knew his parents were wrong. Creepy carrots were real, and they were coming for him. But they couldn't get him if they couldn't get out. Jasper hatched a plan. First thing on Saturday, he grabbed supplies and headed to Kraken Hopper Field. Phew, look at all those supplies. I even think I see an alligator. Let's see what he is doing. As the sun finally set across Kraken Hopper Field, Jasper Rabbit smiled. On his way home, there was no tunk, tunk, tunk. There were no carrot-shaped shadows. His plan had worked. No creepy carrots would ever get out of that carrot patch again. Let's look at what Jasper did. How silly. He made a very tall fence, and he even dug a moat all around the carrot field, and there are those alligators protecting the carrots. And as the sun finally set, the carrots of Kraken Hopper Field, there they all are, cheered. Their creepy plan had worked. They were sure of it. Jasper Rabbit would never get into that carrot patch ever again. Look at all those carrots, so happy. And I think I maybe see 1, 2, 3 carrots at the top of that hill. And I think those 3 carrots might just be the ones that were following Jasper all around. But for now, that is the end of our story. I think Jasper learned his lesson. Just like poor Benny, I think he's going to just like Benny, I think he's going to stop eating quite so many carrots. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed our stories as much as I did. I'll see you next time on Storytime. Bye!